So my name is Kelly. I am from Orlando, Florida, and I manage community associations.
And I am Mary, her mom. I am currently in Alabama, a little tiny town called Monroeville. And I'm a stay-at-home retired individual who loves to do lots of things.
Who do you love that you should tell more often? Why do you love them so much?
So I would say it's probably my best friend, Lex. She lives all the way across the country from me, so we really only get to see each other once a year. We've known each other since we were 13 years old, and I think we've been through it all, everything, and I think that we don't say it a lot because it's kind of that platonic love thing. But we don't say I love you, but we say it in a million other ways and in a million other actions. And it's something that we just know to be a truth. And so we don't often say it out loud. And we don't get to see each other and we don't get to talk to each other even all that often because we're both moms and busy with work and life. And so I just wish that I had more time to sit with her and just express how much she means to me and how much I love her.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little excerpt here. The reason I don't say to my children, it's much because I say it a lot. And the one reason I do, my mom especially, had never been told she was loved throughout her childhood. That was just a German thing that you never had to do. You just didn't. They were to be seen, not heard. And so when she had us, my brothers and I, she said, always, every day, say, I love you. I'm missing her today.
Aww.
But I love my brothers, and I don't tell them often enough. And just this past couple months, when my brother actually got injured, he connected with me, and we have 6 years that we go without talking to each other, and it's crazy. We've lost a lot of time. But I love you, Joe, and I love you. So, yeah, stay together with family. Tell them you love them because you don't know if, you have tomorrow. You just don't.
What do you think has kept you from saying I love you more often?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess sometimes I think sometimes society makes you feel weird for saying that to a best friend. I think love is such it's almost owned by romantic love, and you just feel like every time you say I love you, then it's like, oh, in that way, and so I think it's almost taught to us as kids that it's awkward to say that you love your best friend or that you love someone in a platonic way. I think it probably took us years to even say that exact phrase, to each other. Again, we say it all the time in our own way and in our own actions, but actually saying that, I think it's really just society that makes us feel weird about it. And now we're not, we always say that's my hetero life mate, because, honestly, she's my soulmate. That's, you can think about it in a lot of different ways, but I believe that my soulmate is my, platonic best friend, and it doesn't have to be that romantic love.
Yeah, like I said, life gets so busy and carried away, and you just think, oh yeah, they know, and you don't tell them. And I mean, it's crazy because we're miles and miles and miles apart from each other, whereas when you're children, you're side by side, and you could punch them and say I love you kind of thing. But when they go off in their own adventures, sometimes you're left behind, or you just don't have the same, and sometimes you don't know how to relate to them anymore, and so you just don't call them for that awkward moment. And yeah, what they know anyway is what you say to yourself. And when it comes down to it, you think, God, how many years I've lost letting them know.
Are you willing to look into the camera and say I love you right now and tell them why they mean so much to you?
I'm gonna cry.
I know. Well, hey, I started first.
Lexine, you are my person, and you have been for more than half of my life. And you already know how much you mean to me. And I need to say that more often. And I love you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. And I have since that first day in class in 7th grade. You are the most amazing person I think I've ever met. You deserve all the love in the world, and I am so excited that I get to be one of the people in it that gets to shower you with all the love that we have.
Hey, Joe, business. I love you both with all my heart. And as Kirsty might say, my daughter, other daughter, with all my butt because it's much bigger. You were there to protect me when I was younger. Yeah, who's gonna cry now? And you supported me in so many ways, whether you were with me side by side, in my presence, or far away, but you were there. And I just am so glad that you were part of this family of mine. Love you.
What could you do differently to show love now that you've had this opportunity?
Well, I get to see her next week, so I am so excited. It's like the one time of year, it's like Christmas to me, so I'm just gonna shower her with all the love that I got. I'm gonna give her a big old tackle hug as soon as I see her, which we always do. But I'm gonna try and be more present with her and really reach out. You know, I called her the other day kind of out of the blue, and she was kind of like, oh, we didn't schedule a call because we have a 3-hour time difference, and like I said, busy in life and families, and so we normally have to schedule our calls. And I just, you know, had a free minute the other day, and I said I'm going to call her, and I'm going to do that more often because I could hear in her voice like how much that meant to her that I had a free minute and I just called her on a whim.
We just recently reconnected, and so I mean, it had to have been. It's sad that it had to have been through some injury, but the fact that we're connected, I don't want to stop. So I think that's my focus, my goal. It's just, you know, we've got how many years left, guys? I don't know, but every day.
Lots.
Let's hope.
Kelly and Mary had such a great energy and joy about them. I'll also say that they both had 2 of the loveliest sundresses I've ever interviewed anyone in. The mother-daughter sundress style was epic, and they get the Best Dressed Mother-Daughter Duo award, hands down. Kelly's expressions of love and admiration for her best friend Lexi likely developed from many years of being there for one another through thick and thin, strengthening their bond and their admiration for one another. True soulmates are those who are fierce protectors of your well-being. They're empaths when you need a shoulder to cry on. Yet they are stubborn masters of refusing to allow you to settle for less than your potential. They're hard to come by, and it appears that Kelly and her best friend are 2 of the lucky ones. When I heard Kelly describe her experience with feeling pressured by society not to express the words "I love you" platonically, it made me a little bit sad because acts of kindness, showing up when you're needed, sharing some of your most vulnerable moments together are all expressions of love. To be convinced not to verbally express why we're giving so much to one another aloud demonstrates that we need to do a better job as a society to create healthy spaces for compassion and transparency. There's always room for improvement, and I think we deserve that. Mary's emotional expression of love for her siblings comes from simply holding on to those feelings of love for years and grappling with a place or a time that feels right to say it out loud. Well, those picture-perfect moments tend to be few and far between, and the future never actually arrives. So it's why now is the best time to look your siblings in the eye, Mary, and tell them that you love them. Time is never really negotiable. We're subject to it. We're judged by how we manage it and even biologically bound by it. But the one aspect of time that we can control is how we choose to spend it. Kelly and Mary, thank you for taking the time to share your stories. Both of your stories were very relatable in so many ways, and I think we can all benefit from assessing how we love one another and choose to spend our time more intentionally. To our viewers, thank you for watching. Your viewership is important to the success of the channel, so if you appreciated Kelly and Mary's stories, give this video a thumbs up and leave them some encouraging words in the comments below. Feel free to check out any of my other videos where I walk up to random strangers in public places and ask them intimate questions about their lives. Consider supporting the channel by clicking the link in the description below, where you can shop at my online apparel store, StylieLifeDesigns.com. You'll find t-shirts, hats, and hoodies with positive and uplifting themes to complement your lifestyle. When you shop, know that a portion of the proceeds from anything you buy will help contribute to the creation of more positive content just like this. Real people, real life, and real love. Until next time, I've been Kevin with the Shared Heart Experiment. Be good to each other. Thanks for watching.